Okay, tell me what you seen in there, seen and heard.
All right, yeah. My name is Josh Johnston. I was in the mission last night, and what I heard and saw was with the guy. We were in an AA meeting, and about 15 minutes before the meeting was over, which would be about 7:40, 7:45, a gentleman walks in and has no shirt and no pants. Well, his pants were on, but he had a big accident. You can see streak marks on the back of his pants, and he was begging for a shirt. It was cold and rainy out, so none of us really thought much about it. Yeah, he got a jacket out of the trash can that had donated clothes in it, and then he put that on, but he didn't leave. He stayed in the area. I heard he walked out in and out a couple times and was being unstable. And then before you know it, there's cop lights across the street, but none of us thought too much about it because cops come up here all the time. And we just let the meeting go on. But when it got down to the last, if I'd say the meeting was almost over, they were ready to wrap it up, do the closing prayer and everything. And then the guy starts talking to himself and said, "No, you're not going to take me out. Like, they killed my family." He was referring to the cops. But, and he started stabbing his neck and was bleeding already. Like, by the time he came at us at the chairs, he was already had blood coming down his neck in two different spots. And he kept on, didn't want to go out there because he knew he was probably not going to make it. And he got all of us somehow, just by his actions moving towards us, he got us to move up and out back to the back of the building to the left, which is by the bathrooms and the showers. So we all kind of huddled back there, but our goal wasn't to get back in the corner. Our goal was to get out through the back door. And the kitchen ended up being locked, so we kind of were forced to hang back in the back corner. And within a minute or two, the cops were breaching in, and they had shot beanbags at first, non-lethals at first at the guy. He was in the back. He wasn't far from us in the back corner. And I actually saw the beanbags bounce off him once or twice. It really didn't seem to faze him. But somehow between that and before the AR-15s came out, he had made his way from not so close to us to back out heading towards the front. And he was on the left side or the right. As you walk in, the right side of the stairwell, which would have, and us in the back would be our left. And he never went probably closer to 10 or 15 feet even to the front door. He was probably a good 15 feet away from the front door at the moment where the cops used lethal force on him. He never got the knife out of his hand. Apparently, like he never dropped the knife out of his hand. And the last thing I remember, I heard say, if he wants to die, let him die. It's pretty sure what the cops were saying. I heard the cops said that everybody else told me the cops did say, drop the knife. It was a box cutter. It really wasn't a big knife, just a box cutter. And I didn't hear that because where I was in the back, all the commotion with everybody around me, I didn't pay attention. I couldn't hear that. But I did hear the other thing, like I said, if he wants to die, let him die. And about 30 seconds later, the sounds caught about 5 or 6 rounds of the assault rifles, and it didn't, to me, it wasn't that loud, so I wasn't sure if it was what it was, but it was, and they got him, and we all cleared out.
So you sat there and heard the cops say, if he wants to die, let him die?
So, like, I don't think there was even an if. It's like, he wants to die, let him die. Like, he had a death wish, apparently. Like, he did. Weird.
All right. You seen them fire less lethal at him?
Yes, at first I absolutely did, and then that didn't faze him. He just kind of like shook it off, like whatever. And before you know it, I probably say within 2 minutes of that, just 2 minutes, he ended up getting his last couple. You know, he didn't even say another word really that I heard. I don't know if anybody else here heard anything, but at that point, it was maybe 2 minutes after the last lethals were, and he was gone. They took him out.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.